Welcome to Troops Tracks. Chris Dawson here. Well, many of you know John Dean as the articulate assistant coach with the North Bay Battalion, but those who have been around the hockey world in North Bay for a while also remember John Dean as a hard-working forward with the North Bay Centennials.
Yeah, well, I loved my time here, obviously. So, as a player, I had a fantastic time. Community treated me exceptionally well. And one of the neat things still to this day is walking around and people come say hi to me that were involved in the team, years ago when I played. And just having that familiarity has been really nice, but I think it helps remind you what hockey's all about. And some guys who walk the rink who used to be our education guys and talk to them every day, and just reminds you that hockey it's more than the game, and it brings people together and communities together. And I was really excited when North Bay got a team back, and to be able to have a chance to apply for a job and work here under Stan has been really neat to connect the 2 decades, like you said. What kind of player? Well, I wasn't the best player, but I love the game, obviously. High energy player. I probably coach somewhat similar, high energy guy. Up and down the wing, north-south, kind of chipping in and work hard, muck and grind, and I try to use my speed as much as I can.
I think he was a grinder type, third liner. Scored the odd goal here and there, and I bet he could fight when he had to.
I try to be a player's coach. I try to demand as much as I possibly can from the guys. As an assistant coach, obviously you play a little bit of a different role than you would as a head coach, and it's my responsibility to be a bit of a sounding board, and it's also my responsibility to communicate the message that's being sent from above, and maybe do it in a little bit more, I don't want to say thoughtful, but a little bit easier way that can relate to the kids a little bit better. It's my goal that kids feel very comfortable to come talk to me, but it's also my goal that they expect that I demand the most of them as well. So there's a fine line between being buddy-buddy and also realizing that, hey, we're setting a tone for our players and holding them accountable at the same time. So I try to walk that line.
Rafi Torres was one of the very bright lights in the early days of the Battalion franchise in Brampton. The power forward put up 3 30-plus goal seasons for the Troops from 1998 to 2001.
Raf was a 6th-round OHL pick. He worked really hard, ended up being a 5th overall pick in the NHL, and carved himself out a pretty good career. I mean, he played World Juniors and went to the Stanley Cup final as a player, and was a very physical force. And although there was players that or fans that didn't like the way he played, if you were on his team or you were a fan of his team, you always liked the way he played.
Oh, it was great. Starting my junior career with Stan Butler there as head coach. It was truly a great experience. 3 years that I was there, I had lived with great people down there. I had a great building and just a great organization. And so I had a lot of fun during those years. Learned a lot about the game, and it was a great experience.
That's it for Troops Tracks. Tune in next week when we feature North Bay's very own Brett Hargrave. We'll see you again.